Hey YouTube, it's Mr. Manic. It's been a while to do a face cam, but today we're going to be going over the new public event on Duel Links and roll that intro. Alright, let's get into it. So, with this event, it's going to be mostly tailored to XYZ decks. I read through the rules and stuff like that, so if you have more material on your XYZ cards, it'll do more damage, such as, right here. I didn't know that it only stacks up to 5. I had up to like 15 XYZ material on my Lyralist deck. It didn't matter, but there's still more ways to do more damage. There's one spell card that I've been mostly focusing on to increase damage with repetition attacks. So let's get started. Going over some deck lists that I've used, and if some new players are wanting to join in, I could kind of help them with this. Going over level 4 beatdown deck that I've kind of made in the beginning. And then focus more on just repetition kills with a standard Lyralist meta deck. So let's get started with this. Okay, so for the new players, this is for you. The level 4s could easily be searched up. What I would do, and this is what you made sure, you click on here, you filter, you select the XYZs, and specifically level 4s. We want to make sure that we pick ones that have like the highest damage, or if they have a repetition attack. So for regular monsters that you're going to have in your basic main deck, you're going to want to select, still the level 4s, but you want to put just normal monsters, effect monsters. It really kind of doesn't matter. As long as it has high attack. So right over here, this is 2400. Make sure, usually if they have like super high attack, there's usually a condition. Make sure it doesn't really have a condition. I use, like, of course, like the sushi, normal monsters. The monsters that the boss kind of summons, the highest I've ever seen in like the very beginnings, maybe 1800 attack base. But as soon as you get your monster onto the field, usually you attack, and then next turn you can summon this guy, and then XYZ summon any of your level 4s. And that's kind of the basic things. Skill kind of doesn't matter. You could add whatever you want that kind of fits. Alright, so let's get to the main event. It's just right here. You just click on here, and so this is like the main page. So food for thought, you can assist people who want to attack the same monster. You could summon your own by getting this item. It'll drop from when you attack the bots in the story mode, or if you attack them at the gate, or if you do the Vega Bomb. They kind of differ on how many you get. Every 100 you get, you could summon your own, and then you can attack it. For this one, I just want to kind of show the beatdown deck, just kind of, just showing you what it kind of looks like. I'm mostly with the assist ones. You just want to get in and out as fast as possible. This is mostly for like newer players, because you're not going to be able to do a lot of damage. So the main point is for you to get in and get as many as you can, because you can get the points based off of how much you assist and when the boss gets defeated. So you want to focus on the boss getting defeated, so when other players are attacking it, you're focusing on other monsters, bosses, to then make sure that you're stacking up as much as you can. So as soon as you jump in, you get in there, you attack, you do your damage. Oh, and just to think about, it stops at 11. So you have 5 turns, and to maximize how much damage you're doing. So, this is what it kind of shows. It shows everybody participating, but this is the kind of the main part right next. So this is the damage you dealt. This is the amount that you defeated for the boss, so you can kind of see how much it adds to it. And then normally later in the week or later in the event, like midway, there's going to be less people doing this assist. So I recommend doing it as quickly as possible, because everybody's playing the event. a lot of people will then play at the end of the event because they're catching up. They're catching up. They're trying to do the attack. So if you kind of miss the beginning of the event, the end of the middle, do it at the end. Start attacking, because everybody's doing the same thing. They're trying to play catch up. So that's kind of the basics. Now let me kind of go over now the Lyralist deck. I kind of waited, but let's get to that. So for my Lyralist deck, I can literally probably get all of my monsters out of my deck onto the field or in the graveyard within 1 or 2 turns. It's not that hard. There's a specific item that you could use to draw 2 cards. I'll talk about that in a second. So sorry to interrupt. We're going back because I never mentioned it. This is what I meant. The dimensional coordinates. You get these, and then you can summon the bosses of your own. You can attack. I've never used Duel Gazer since I don't buy anything. It hasn't dropped. But easy draw and summon. This is the one that I use so I could get as much cards in my hand as possible. So I get the right cards. But this is the specific one that I'm talking about. You can of course purchase it. I don't. I'm a free-to-play guy. But you can use this one to help you out to get as much cards in your hand as possible. Alright, resume. But for this Lyralist deck, it mostly stems from this card right here. We got Nightingale, who can attack multiple times based off of how much material that they have. And this is the spell card that I was talking about. Every single attack, it will get a counter of an additional 500 attack, which with the material times the main attack, so it's an additional 2500 attack if you have 5 of which it only counts up to 5 material. So sometimes I don't have the right cards, sometimes you're drawing 2 and I get like 2 of these. This is just to reshuffle the cards from the graveyard back into the deck. This will give you, if you have an XYZ monster, you can then turn their its monster into your XYZ material, so you can have up to 3 or 4 or 5, just depending if you used it or not. So I'm gonna drop some gameplay of this here in a second, of just kind of how successful it could be, and let's get it started. Alright guys, so this is my Lyralist deck. This is just a recording. I do it like kind of really slow while playing. I'll be like looking at the screen, but kind of explaining this Lyralist deck. The skill, you can send one to the graveyard. You can only do this once per game, so you can't really do it and spam it. But the main point is to make sure that I get my XYZ onto the field. So I get my search card in my hand. But the main point is to make sure I get as many XYZ material on my card as possible. And this one right here, Swallow, you're able to stack ones in your graveyard. You can put them on the material. This one, make sure that, I get another Swallow onto the field, so I can see those 2 ones that are inside the graveyard. I'll then put the Swallow onto the field, and then XYZ summon my guy, and then I'll have 5 material and the max amount of damage that I can. Well, around the end of the next turn, you're gonna see the spell card that I was referring to make sure that you can increase your damage at least by 2500 each attack. With the Lyralist, this card, it can attack multiple times, which makes the counter go up every single time you attack. So right there, that's right there. This is the spell card that I was talking about. Alright, and that's it. That's as much information I got from it, just to make sure that we're maximizing as much damage as we can. I've only played this event like once or twice in the past. I never get the full amount of rewards, but this time I was able to. But if you have any questions or anything, there's drop it down in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and roll the outro.